Salut à tous. Aujourd'hui, nous plongeons encore plus profondément dans l'énigme des mystérieux drones qui survolent le New Jersey. Vous souvenez-vous de nos précédentes vidéos? Nous avions décrypté les déclarations du président élu Donald Trump et celles du général Ryder, porte-parole du Pentagone. Mais cette fois, les révélations du maire de Belleville, Melham, viennent bouleverser toute la donne. Les drones qui quadrillent méthodiquement le territoire, volant en parfaite synchronisation comme pour scanner des zones précises. Des engins capables de s'éteindre soudainement, de disparaître physiquement sous les yeux des témoins et d'échapper à tous les radars, laissant derrière eux un silence troublant. Et le plus alarmant, des vols à proximité de sites nucléaires stratégiques. Le maire de Belleville, Melham, ne mâche pas ses mots. Dans une interview exclusive accordée à Forbes Newsroom, il lève le voile sur ce qu'il a découvert lors de briefings confidentiels organisés pour informer les maires du New Jersey, dont il faisait partie. Ces réunions, hautement sensibles, ont révélé des faits troublants concernant ces mystérieux drones. Que se passe-t-il réellement dans le ciel du New Jersey? S'agit-il d'un test technologique avancé, d'une menace étrangère ou d'une force encore inconnue échappant à tout contrôle? Restez bien jusqu'à la fin de cette vidéo. Nous analyserons ensemble ces déclarations pour comprendre l'ampleur de cette menace et éclairer les zones d'ombre qui continuent de hanter cette énigme.
This started 4 weeks ago here in New Jersey, and about 3 weeks ago it really ticked up, I would say. So much so that last week, myself and about 500 other mayors here in New Jersey were invited to an unprecedented briefing down at New Jersey Police Headquarters. It was not only every mayor in the state, but it was also every member of our state delegation, our state legislature. So we were told when we got down there that by the time we left, we would know every single thing the state of New Jersey knows. Well, it could have been a 5-minute Zoom meeting because we know very little. They know very little. So if you take some of the little bits of information they told us, but more importantly, sometimes what they haven't told us, we're able to piece some different things together. So the information has been slow to come. This past Monday, because mayors like myself have been really calling out for some truth here and transparency, we were all invited to a White House briefing. It was the White House Office of Intergovernmental Affairs. And that meeting went about 45 minutes, and again, next to nothing. I mean, literally telling us we're seeing things, mostly manned, a lot of misidentification, nothing to see here. Yet, the crazy part about that is that that was on Monday. Less than 24 hours after that, the House Intelligence Committee convened a classified meeting that lasted more than 3 hours. So questions mayors and myself have been asking, well, what did they talk about for 3 hours at a classified meeting with the Intelligence Committee about drones in New Jersey, yet told mayors the day before, nothing to see here. So we have a little bit of facts that we've garnered in the past month or so, especially in the last week, that we've really ticked up calling for openness and transparency. So here's what I know from our briefings. I know for a fact that we were told there are drones hovering over New Jersey's critical infrastructure. What is that? Well, here in New Jersey, we have 2 nuclear plants. We have the Picatinny Arsenal. We have multiple reservoirs. We have Trump Bedminster. So plenty of infrastructure here, plenty of top security sites here in New Jersey. We know for a fact that drones are over them. We also know, and this is a quote from our governor, one of the rare times he's actually spoken on this. By the way, I didn't mention that when we convened that meeting last week with every single mayor, the governor was a no-show. He had about 200 COVID-related press conferences, yet has been very, very quiet on this topic. So we know for a fact that they're up there. Our governor, in one of the rare statements that he did make, he said that our New Jersey State Police helicopters have actually gone up, this was early on, and tried to actually pursue or try to get close to a drone, and the drone turned off and disappear. Those are his words, not mine. We also know from our state police that these drones are not emitting radio frequencies. So when people say we're seeing personal drones or we're seeing commercial drones, and believe it or not, there is some misidentification going on. I'll give you that. But when people say that these are nothing but personal drones and commercial drones, it's simply not true. These drones are high tech, something like our government would have, or maybe a foreign adversary would have. They are not emitting a radio frequency, which makes it really difficult to track them, but makes it impossible to knock them out of the sky with a jammer. Because if they don't have a radio frequency, you can't jam them, you can't bring them down to the ground. Listen, the administration has said some crazy things. You got the president finally speaking on this thing. He said nothing nefarious. After the members of the House Intelligence Committee was briefed, they came out and they all towed the party line. Nothing to see here, nothing nefarious, no credible threat. However, the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee has come out. He said he believes they're Chinese drones. Yet another congressperson from New Jersey has said it's an Iranian mothership off our coast. So these are the top level federal officials that are giving us such misleading and different information. That's really the crazy part here. We can't get a straight story out of anybody. Our governor has been suspiciously quiet. So he says he doesn't know. The state police say they don't know. I believe the state police and I believe our New Jersey Homeland Security that they say they're not getting any information, therefore they don't know. I believe that. But yet, if I was governor of this state, I'd have myself in Washington, D.C. right now demanding answers from our federal government. Perhaps our governor does know something, but he's not talking. Somebody at the state level, if they know, needs to speak. Definitely somebody at the federal level needs to speak. It's really, as you said it before, the lack of truth and the lack of transparency does nothing but fuel online conspiracy theories. So the faster that we know the truth, the faster that these online conspiracy theories will actually start to quell. I said that I believe they're searching for something. So that's a kind of an interesting interview. If you actually listen to everything that was said, I know things got taken, out of context a little bit on social media, and I'm totally fine to clarify. Here's what I said. I know for a fact that we have drones that are hanging out over our critical infrastructure. Depending on your perspective on that, it's either cause for concern, or if it's not cause for concern, it's cause for comfort. Cause for concern would be you think it's a foreign adversary hanging out over our airspace. I don't believe that's the case. I believe these are our federal assets. I believe that just like through the Bush era threat levels, I remember the color-coded threat levels. We were at a certain threat level, we did X. A certain level, we did X, Y. So I think that our government is aware of a threat. I think that we have the resources, no doubt, to put some drones up in the sky just to look at our critical infrastructure to make sure nobody's, messing around inside there. I also do know that drones are flying in a grid-like pattern. Why would they be flying in a grid-like pattern? Only if they're looking or searching for something, or as we would say, sniffing for something. You could put a drone up in the sky, and it could be there for 5 minutes, take pictures, and you're done. Or put a drone up in the sky, take video for 5 minutes, and you have all your mapping you need. You don't need drones showing up in the same spot every single night doing the same grid-like pattern. Therefore, you're led to the conclusion that potentially they're there sniffing or looking for something. At that point in the conversation, it was brought up about missing radioactive material. Now, this is true. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is not a rumor. Absolutely for a fact that the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Committee issued on their .gov website an alert for missing radioactive material in New Jersey on or about December 2nd. It was shipped, it arrived, damaged, and empty. Now, I never said that I believe we're out there looking specifically for that, but I have in other interviews said that the fact that we're up there sniffing for something means, in my opinion, that we're aware of a specific threat, and potentially there could be aware of something that came in through Port Newark, let's just say. It could be a suitcase nuke. It could be a dirty bomb, or it could be radioactive material. I do believe that our government has the ability to sniff from the sky via drones, and I do believe they're looking for something. The only plausible conclusion you can come to is the fact that if they did tell us, we would be even more scared. So I think they have to really come clean. I did see that President Trump interview. He did say that our government knows. He did say our president knows. More than likely, President Trump knows because I believe he receives the same exact briefings that the president does since he's president-elect. He also did say, which was cause for some concern, that he will not be in New Jersey this weekend. That really didn't make people here in New Jersey, feel very comfortable, I'll tell you that much.
Les révélations du maire Melham nous plongent dans un univers d'incertitude fascinant, mais profondément troublant. Ces drones mystérieux ne survolent pas simplement des zones sensibles. Ils suivent un quadrillage méthodique, comme s'ils cartographiaient minutieusement le territoire. Des infrastructures stratégiques, des bases militaires de haute sécurité, et même des sites nucléaires, se retrouvent au cœur de leur itinéraire. Plus inquiétant encore, ils semblent disparaître physiquement, sous les yeux de témoins, s'effaçant des radars comme s'ils n'avaient jamais existé. Comment expliquer que ces engins puissent s'éteindre instantanément, disparaître de la vue et échapper au système de surveillance parmi les plus avancés au monde? Ce que nous savions jusqu'ici s'effrite face à ces nouvelles révélations. Ces drones ne ressemblent ni à des modèles civils, ni à des prototypes militaires classiques. Alors, que sont-ils vraiment? Une technologie étrangère? Ou une avancée américaine trop sensible pour être révélée? L'administration Biden et les agences comme la FAA ou le FBI maintiennent leur discours sur un manque de données. Mais peut-on croire qu'un pays avec une infrastructure technologique aussi robuste soit incapable de suivre des drones, même aussi sophistiqués soient-ils? Si c'est le cas, cela pose une question essentielle. Les États-Unis seraient-ils dépassés dans leur propre espace aérien? Ce qui semblait être une simple anomalie aérienne prend désormais des allures de menace potentielle. Le silence des autorités, couplé à des témoignages aussi précis qu'alarmants, laisse place à un doute pesant. S'agit-il d'un ennemi invisible? D'un acteur non identifié maîtrisant une technologie avancée? Et vous, qu'en pensez-vous? Ces drones sont-ils la preuve d'une avancée technologique qui nous échappe? Une menace étrangère ou un jeu de dissimulation organisé? Laissez-nous vos analyses dans les commentaires, car ce débat ne fait que commencer. Abonnez-vous, partagez et restez connectés pour nos prochaines analyses. Si vous souhaitez soutenir notre travail, un don ferait toute la différence. Merci pour votre engagement et à très bientôt pour de nouvelles explorations ensemble.